Okay, so body paragraph 2, we left off at that. So we state the argument that the three strikes law needs to be in place because it, and then we go with claim 1, which was because it deters crime. So I'm going to explain that in my own words, and then I'm going to provide some evidence. Again, the quote or paraphrasing of your sources. I'm going to explain the evidence and maybe provide an example or put it in different words. And then I'm going to repeat it. You can do this 2 or 3 times. It depends on how much evidence you have. The more evidence you have, the more convincing you are. Once you finish with this paragraph, you're going to close the sentence. You're going to use a closing sentence by introducing claim 2. You can say something like, not only should we keep it in place because it deters crime, but it also reduces recidivism. And that is introducing your next point. Okay, so then we go with our second point, which is it reduces recidivism. So in body paragraph 3, you put claim number 2 in the order of your thesis. Again, remember, it has to be in the same exact order of your thesis. You do the same thing here. You transition, you introduce in your own words, then you provide evidence, explain evidence, and then give me an example. Okay, and now body paragraph 4 would be your third claim, which is to bring justice to the victims. You do the same thing here. And then you begin your conclusion. With your conclusion, don't forget you need a transition so that we know you're concluding. And then you're going to state what you have illustrated by repeating or reiterating your counter argument and your main claims. Do not forget your counter argument in the conclusion. You have to restate your entire thesis. Your entire thesis. Do not repeat your thesis statement. This is really, really boring. Do not repeat your thesis statement in the same exact words. And please use a conversational tone here. You can use first person. Okay, you can use your thoughts. You can use whatever you want to add here. Do not add more evidence in the conclusion or new evidence. Okay, and then I want you to discuss the possible worldly solutions that perhaps can be a compromise. Compromise means that you're going to give a little, take a little for both sides of the argument. So for example, for this example that we're doing for the three strikes law, maybe we can say, I think we should keep the three strikes law, but only use it for violent offenders. And that kind of doesn't really make it cruel and unusual because we're only focusing on very horrific crimes or however you want to put it. And then in the end, I want you to end with a call to action or just any last thoughts that you have. If you want your audience to get up and do something, this is where you put it at the end. Okay, and finally, just read these notes on your voice. Let your voice be heard. How you argue and the language you use are your voice. Do not let your quotes take over the argument. There's nothing more boring than reading an essay that's 5 pages long and it's full of quotes. And then don't forget to add your works cited page. It should begin on its own page, but as a part of this document. Do not turn it in separately. If you do that, it's plagiarism because you're not adding that to this document. Do not put it in the middle of a page. It has to be on the top of the page, on its own page. And then finally, before you submit, you need to revise your work. You need to visit Jared. You need to, if you're not sure about your writing, then you need to revise it with somebody who knows how to help you. Okay? And then don't forget to add the checklist. Don't use any checklist. It has to be the argumentative essay checklist. Okay? And that's it. Thank you. If you have any questions, email me. Or you can make an appointment with Jared too. Okay? Thank you, guys.